What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Chevy Trailblazer RS. Huge thank you to Duane Ferguson over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Trailblazer or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac, I'll be sure to have Duane's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is another absolutely beautiful fall day outside here today, and I am definitely thankful for another day on this planet. But like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Chevy Trailblazer RS, and this particular one has been painted in sterling gray metallic. A couple things that I wanted to preface this video with was basically by saying for 2024, the Trailblazer as a whole was refreshed inside and out with new wheels, an updated front end, a new screen layout inside, as well as the addition of a couple new color options as well. But moving on from there, as standard with the RS, you get LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED headlights with IntelliBeam. Now, taking a step back and to the left, let's take in the refreshed Trailblazer for 2024. So you can see this looks quite a bit more similar to the Blazer for the 2024 Trailblazer model year as compared to the 2023 Trailblazer. So in my opinion, I think that is a good thing because they sharpened up the front end styling. It looks a lot more sporty, and you can see right here with that kind of C-shaped notch and that C-shaped notch for your grille bar. Basically, that's following GM's design language with the Chevys and the GMCs, because you can see on the GMCs, you get that C-shaped daytime running light on most models, as well as same with the Chevys as well. So you can see you don't necessarily get the daytime running lights that are the C-shaped, but you can see on that grille bar, you get that little C-shaped right there. I'll get into that here closer in a second. But basically, what I wanted to show you was what makes the Trailblazer RS the Trailblazer RS. So basically, with the RS, you get a gloss black front grille with that black chrome grille bar that I was just mentioning. You can see the C-shaped there, C-shaped over there. And then you have your black bow tie emblem at the center of that grille bar. You also get your RS emblem on the driver's side of your grille as well, and that is what it looks like. Now, coming back just a little bit, I do want to tell you that you do also get a satin black lower grille down here. But going on, or moving on from there, you get these trim pieces both here and here, as you may be able to see on screen, and those are like faux carbon fiber trim pieces. So they do kind of have the same theme or design of actual carbon fiber, but this is a Trailblazer, this isn't a C8Z06. So those are just basically faux carbon fiber trim pieces, and you will find that at the rear. So the rear complements the front. And then last but not least, I did want to tell you that you do get 7.5 inches of ground clearance with the 2024 Trailblazer RS. Now, coming down the side, you get satin black wheel arch moldings. You also get a side marker light right there. The RS gives you the ride and handling suspension, and this thing handles very, very well. I was very surprised going around a couple turns with this thing because it was actually, you know, quite fun to push through the turns. So very, very nice. And then moving on from there, these are the standard and the only wheel option that you get with the RS trim level, and I think they look great. But anyways, they are a 19-inch gloss black with machine face wheel, and they are wrapped in 245/45 Continental Pro Contact TX tires. Again, these are the only wheel option you can get on this vehicle. Here is a view of the tread pattern on those tires. Here's a view of the wheel itself. Again, I am a big fan of the way that these wheels look, and I think they look a lot better than the previous model year's wheels. Moving on from there, here's a front 3/4 shot of the Blazer, or Trailblazer, excuse me. But as standard with the RS, you get gloss black mirror caps, and as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, power adjustable, and manual folding. If you wanted blind spot monitoring, you would have to opt for the $395 driver confidence package, which would again give you blind spot monitoring. This particular Trailblazer actually has no options on it. So just keep that in mind as we go throughout this video. But again, if you wanted blind spot monitoring, you would have to opt for the driver confidence package. Moving on from there, one thing you may be able to notice, and I know the camera's not really doing a great job at picking it up, but basically you get gloss black A-pillars as well as a gloss black roof. I'll try to give you a better view of what that looks like. Maybe I'll run over to this side, but you can see basically from here on up, all of this area, like your entire roof, is gloss black, starting with your A-pillars on up. So I just wanted to point that out to you. But also, as standard with the RS, you get these roof rails that are gloss black at the top, but then satin black here on the bottom. So you can see gloss black on top, satin black on the bottom. You also get satin black window trim, as well as body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind, the keyless access function is only on your front 2 door handles. The rear 2 door handles do not get that keyless access function. And then all the way at the bottom of your passenger doors, you get this satin black door cladding. Really, that kind of about does it here on the side. Then you get this fuel door, but you do not get a capless filler neck, so you do still have to, you know, twist that off right there. And then I want to give you a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. That is what the 2024 Trailblazer RS looks like from the back. Like I mentioned, you get the gloss black A-pillars, the gloss black roof, so it also means you do get a gloss black roof spoiler up top here as well. Then you get your integrated LED third brake light, you get a rear window defroster, you get your rear wiper back here as well. The RS does give you LED taillights. Now let's take in the entire rear end from the rear end. That is what she looks like. And then you can see you get your black bow tie emblem. You also get your black Trailblazer and all-wheel drive badging. Again, that comes with the RS, is the black badging. Then you have your RS badging on the lower right-hand side of your lift gate. Coming down, you can see you have your bow tie right there. If you follow that bow tie all the way down to here, that is where you will find your backup camera. So your backup camera, it might not come up. That is where you'll find your backup camera. So it's about right there. And then as standard with the RS, you do not get a power lift gate, but you do get a manual lift gate. So all you got to do, put your hand under there, lift up on that. I know, so difficult for a 2024 model year vehicle. Now, taking a look at our trunk space here in the back, I could say you could probably fit 4 to 5 carry-on suitcases back here. If you stacked them up, then these are your floor mats, carpeted floor mats that you get as standard with this vehicle. You get a light on the driver's side of your trunk, and then if you lifted this up, that is where you'll find your spare tire, your jack, and all the necessities. You know, if you get stuck, like you get a tow hook, and then you get your jack, and so on and so forth. So you do get a spare tire with this vehicle. On a lot of new vehicles, it seems like they're no longer putting spare tires for cost's sake or something like that. And then you can also fold down your second row seats by pushing on that, and then your second row seats will fold flat, giving you an additional, you know, 4.5 feet of storage space. But closing that back up, let's finishing things here at the rear end. So let's finish things off here at the rear end is what I meant to say. But let's say, you know, you wanted a power lift gate, but you're like, can you get a power lift gate on this? So you can, but if you wanted a power lift gate, you would have to opt for the $1,195 convenience package, which would give you a hands-free power lift gate. So basically it would put a, I think it's Chevy emblem or an RS emblem here on the ground, and you could kick it and then the lift gate would open up. You can also obviously press on that pad and the lift gate would open up. Powerly, is that a word? Anyways, so you can get a power lift gate. It just comes at a price. And then coming down, you get 2 reflectors on each side of your rear bumper, one right there, one right there. Then you get a satin black rear bumper. But like I was mentioning at the front, you also get some faux carbon fiber trim here at the back end as well. So this piece, not sure how well it's going to pick up on camera, carbon fiber or faux carbon fiber. And then this piece here and this piece there is also that faux carbon fiber trim. Then you may be able to tell you also get a dual exhaust system. One more thing I wanted to mention is that with the optional $395 driver confidence package, that would give you rear parking sensors. So let's say you're not too confident in backing up in parking spaces in a mall or tight, again, parking spaces. You might want to get the driver confidence package. It gives you the blind spot monitoring, it gives you the rear cross traffic alert, and it also gives you the rear parking sensors. Just food for thought. You don't have to get it, just thought I might mention it. Last but not least, the max tow capacity of the 2024 Trailblazer RS is 1,000 pounds. So hypothetically, you could pull one jet ski, but you're really not going to be able to pull much more than one wave runner, one jet ski, maybe a trailer full of 2 bicycles or something like that. But again, when it comes to tow capacity, this thing is not all that capable. But yeah, that kind of about does it for the exterior of the Trailblazer RS. Are you guys happy with the changes? Are you guys not happy with the redesign? Let me know in the comments down below. Personally, for me, I really like the way that this thing looks here from the exterior as compared to the 2023 model year. But again, that's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 1.3 liter turbo inline 3-cylinder that makes 155 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 9.4 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 26 miles per gallon in the city, 29 miles per gallon on the highway for 27 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. This does come standard with front-wheel drive, so if you did want to opt for all-wheel drive, that's going to cost you an additional $1,600. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that in real-world driving, after driving from the dealership to the spot where I film here, and after reading that 0 to 60 time, this thing feels a lot peppier than that 0 to 60 time may suggest. You know, coming from a stop, I don't really feel like this thing needs much more power. It seems like it's tuned for the mid-range RPMs. However, I haven't floored this thing yet, but I could see this thing, you know, once you floor it, you're like, dang, this thing kind of feels anemic. But in city to city, stoplight to stoplight, that kind of driving, I don't think you're gonna feel like this thing needs any more power. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, so I really appreciate it if you would take a second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below. The likes and comments look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that helps me grow. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you do get keyless access, so all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press on this button right here, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also press that very same button, and now the vehicle is locked again. I did want to walk you through what the key fob looked like, as well as the functions on the key fob. So on this side, you have some satin black, as well as your bow tie. And then on the other side, you have your unlock function, your lock function, your remote start function, and your panic function all the way at the bottom. If you wanted to remote start this vehicle, you press this lock button, and then you press and hold on the button underneath it, and the vehicle will fire up. Let's say you remote started it, but then you're like, hey, I actually don't need to go for a drive. If you press and hold on that button again, that will turn the vehicle right back off. But now let's take a look at our driver's side door panel, and let's see what this has to offer us. So at the top of your door panel, you get some satin black plastic, and then underneath that you get some red accent color trim. Then you get some gray trim. You get a chrome looking door handle. You get your unlock and your lock functions. You get some Evotex material right here. Evotex is basically kind of like a synthetic leather kind of type of material. It's kind of like the best way that I can describe it. If you know Subarus, this is kind of like the StarTex upholstery, similar feel to that. But yeah, then you get some red accent colored stitching, power side view mirror controls. That is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get a automatic up and down driver window. All the other windows are automatic down only. You get a spot you can set a phone, you get a padded armrest, a little bit of miscellaneous storage space, and a speaker, and that kind of about does it for the door panel here on the driver's side. So I mentioned the Evotex material just a couple seconds ago, but basically I wanted to mention that this is the jet black Evotex upholstery with red accenting. So the red accenting is given to you by the RS trim level. As you may be able to tell, you get the RS stitched into both of your front headrests, and then you also get that red accent colored stitching going down both seats as well as throughout the interior. But as standard with this vehicle, you get a 10-way power adjustable driver's seat with power lumbar, and here are your controls for that. This is what the seat looks like. And now let's step into the interior and let's see what's new for 2024. So to turn the vehicle on, all you have to do is have your key fob in the interior, push your foot on the brake, and then push to start. And the vehicle will fire up. A couple things that you may notice that are new for the 2024 model year is basically you now get an 8-inch digital gauge cluster, as well as an 11-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. But before I get into that kind of stuff, I'm gonna walk you throughout the controls and we'll work our way into that, you know, linearly, if that's a word. But I'm gonna close this door here, roll a couple windows down, get some cross flow going. And now let's just walk ourselves throughout the interior. So if I push on this, this is gonna pop out. And basically this is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. All you gotta do is twist it. And then to the right of that, you have your headlight control knob. So basically right now it's in headlights automatic. That is parking lights on. And then all the way to the right is headlights in the always on position. I like to leave it in automatic personally. Coming down just a little bit more, you got a spot you could set your key fob down in there if you wanted to. There's another key fob, you can see it fits down in there. And then you also have that to pop open your hood. Flipping this thing down gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So basically you can bring the steering wheel towards you, you can push the steering wheel away from you, and you can also move the steering wheel up and down until you find your comfortable position. Once you find your comfortable position, push that back up, lock it into place, and that is that. Then you get a leather wrapped steering wheel from here to here. Then you get some black trim down here. The steering wheel is also heated. But before we get into that, take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like on this vehicle. And then pressing on this button is going to turn your automatic high beams on or off. And then that is about it for that. Now again, you get a heated and leather wrapped wheel. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to it. That is what the horn sounds like on the Trailblazer. Then on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your cruise control settings as well as your gap adjust. Basically, the gap adjust without adaptive cruise control, which this vehicle does not have adaptive cruise control as standard. Basically, that's for like your forward collision alert, forward collision braking, automatic emergency braking, stuff like that. It's basically going to adjust the sensitivity of that. And then that is your heated steering wheel on or off button. Let's say you did want adaptive cruise control. Well, you would have to opt for the $995 adaptive cruise and sound package, which would give you adaptive cruise control, obviously, as well as a 7-speaker Bose sound system. But I did want to show you that behind this side of the steering wheel, you have your tuning controls. And then behind this side of the steering wheel, you have your volume control. So this volume up, that is volume down, and same thing for these controls over here. And then that is about it for this side of the steering wheel. Now let's go into this side of the steering wheel. Basically, this is to speak to the vehicle and or pick up on a phone call. This is to hang up on a phone call. And then these controls, as well as this control knob, or that little knob thing right there, are all to control your 8-inch digital gauge cluster, which I'm gonna bring the steering wheel down just a little bit so I have a better view of what that looks like. So right now, this is what the gauge cluster looks like. You can see you have your tachometer, also known as the RPM gauge, at the center. Then you have your digital speedometer readout there. Compass stuff up top there, your lane keeping stuff there. That's letting me know that I am unbuckled at the moment. Then that's some more driver assistance stuff. You have your coolant temperature gauge, your odometer, transmission status stuff. That's letting us know that we are in all-wheel drive right now. Then you have your fuel gauge as well as your fuel range down there. And then if you wanted to go throughout this screen, basically I'm gonna go into here, go into okay, now we're good to go. So if I click on this button, that's going to pop up my audio stuff here on this screen. So you can go between your different audio sources. If I had a phone connected, the phone would also be on this screen as well. Clicking that button again, it's gonna go away. And then if I click this phone button right here, it's gonna pop up my phone stuff here on this screen as well as the screen over there. But yeah, moving on from there. So now I am connected to Bluetooth. Make sure I turn that down so I don't get a copyright strike. That's kind of about it for that screen there. You know, very, very easy to use screen. Then you have your windshield wiper control stock. You have your push button, start button right there. Green lets you know that the vehicle is turned on. Coming up top here, you have a physical volume control knob there. And again, this is the 11-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. I will bring us into the home screen. So this is what your home screen looks like. So basically, up top here, you see that little bell. That is for your notifications. Click on the bell. Okay, basically we have no notifications. Then that is letting me know that my phone is connected. This is a Wi-Fi hotspot capable vehicle, so that is Wi-Fi stuff. That is the ambient exterior temperature, and then that is the current time. You have your you have your shortcut buttons over here, so you can shortcut into your audio stuff. You can shortcut into your phone stuff. You can go into your vehicle diagnostic stuff by clicking on that button right there, which it doesn't want to bring me. Okay, now we are in it. So then you can go between your different maintenance stuff here. Those are the two screens. Then you have your different auxiliary gauges here for your battery voltage, your coolant temperature. Then you get your trip information stuff over there, giving you your fuel economy. And then you have your home button there at the bottom. Then you have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto apps right there. Then you can go between your different settings. So you can go into your vehicle settings. There's all of these different settings here. You get your lighting settings. Then you have your different apps. Clicking back out of that, like I said, wireless hotspot, with this vehicle, that is the button you would press to go into the wireless hotspot, and basically it would bring you into basically letting you know what the network name is, as well as the password and so on and so forth. And that kind of about does it for that screen. Very basic screen, very easy to use. Coming down, 2 HVAC vents, you have your hazard button there. You do get single zone climate control with this vehicle. That is what it looks like down there. You also get heated front seats as standard with this vehicle. Both get 3 levels of adjustability. Very, very nice. And then coming down just a little bit more, you get a USB-A port, you get a USB-C port, as well as a 12-volt power outlet. As you may be able to tell, you can also fit a phone down there as well. That is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, one of the bigger phones on the market, and it fits down in there, no problem. Now, coming over to here, this is to turn your auto stop start system on or off. This is for your lane keeping system, on or off. Traction control, on or off. This is to turn sport mode on, sport mode off. And then that is to turn all-wheel drive on or off. So right now I am in 2-wheel drive, so basically the vehicle is being powered by the front wheels. It lets you know right there. Clicking on that button one more time is going to put me back into all-wheel drive. Now, going back over to here, this is what your gear shift selector looks like. You get the RS badging there. You can upshift and or downshift the transmission with these 2 buttons. This is to downshift, this is to upshift, and then you also have a low mode by going all the way down. This is your electronic parking brake. Pull up, the parking brake will engage. You get 2 cup holders here. Let's see, I don't think my phone is gonna fit in there, but if you had like a smaller phone, you could set your phone right there. But again, this is a big phone. It's a little bit too big to fit right there. Then you get some miscellaneous storage space down in here. You can see I got my windsock. I have another key fob to another vehicle down in there. Then you get a nicely padded armrest. Opening this up, let's take all of this stuff out of there. Good amount of storage space. I'd say you probably have like 10 inches of depth down in there. Then you also get a divider. So let me put this here for a second. Shove all that stuff back down in there. This is the divider you get. Basically, you would put this divider like right here, and then you can take it out if you wanted to. So that is what that does. Closing that back up. This is what your dash looks like. You get that red that flows throughout the dash. Then you get some red accent colored stitching. You do not get a lockable glove box, but you get a decent amount of storage space in your glove box. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max for size reference down in there. You can fit your owner's manual, napkins, straws, snacks, you know, the necessities. Coming up top here, you just get a standard rear view mirror, OnStar stuff. That lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. Driver and passenger both get lights. These are your light controls all the way to the right. That is basically all your interior dome lights on. At the center, when it's like that, that is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the door. So when it's at the center, when I open up the door, the lights will turn on. However, if I click that all the way to the left, when I open up the door, the lights will not turn on. Then taking a look at our visor, you get a little clip right here. You can set any small paper product. Then you get a vanity mirror, but you do not get vanity lights. And then this slides forwards and backwards to your liking. Driver gets a no poop handle, as well as a Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. Same thing over there for the passenger as well. And that kind of about does it for what we got going on here in these front seats. So a couple things I wanted to go over. Again, this vehicle has 0 options on it, but I did want to go over a couple standard things as well as a couple options you may want to consider looking into getting. So as standard with this vehicle, you get a 10-way power adjustable driver seat with power lumbar, heated front seats, a heated steering wheel, automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning. You also get forward collision alert as well as a couple other things. Now, here are 2 options you may want to look into getting. So first option being the $995 adaptive cruise and sound package, which gives you adaptive cruise control and the 7-speaker Bose sound system. The sound system standard is pretty decent, but if you really like listening to music, then I recommend you get that package because the Bose sound system is very good. Now, second option you may want to look into getting is the $1,195 convenience package, which is on screen right now. Basically, I'm going to highlight a couple things you get with that. Basically, you get wireless charging, you get the power liftgate, you get the auto dimming rear view mirror here on the interior, and then you also get the illuminated vanity mirrors here on the interior, 120 volt power outlet, as well as everything else you can read on screen. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard. You can see this vehicle has no options on it. You can take a look at the fuel economy, basically take a look at whatever you want to. But I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Trailblazer RS is spec'd is $29,995. I gotta say, this thing is quite a bit of fun to drive. And I'm not lying, like I literally took this thing on a little bit of a back road going through turns and stuff like that, and I was like, this thing handles way better than you would expect it to. It's honestly like happy to go into turns, like it wants to go into turns and it wants you to take it through the turn. So it is actually pretty fun to drive, surprisingly, considering, you know, what this vehicle is really made for, because it's not made necessarily to go around back roads and stuff like that, but it does a very good job doing it. This is what your rear door panel looks like, very basic. Again, you get an automatic down window here at the back. You can see the window goes all the way down. You get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space, a speaker, the padded armrest, and that's about it for that. I am going to fold this seat back up, and then this is what your second row seats look like here. Again, this seat also will fold down flat. Stepping on into these rear seats, you get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders and a nicely padded armrest. Now I am adjusted behind myself and I am 5'9". You can see I have quite a bit of leg and knee room. Here's another view of that leg and knee room. Up top here, you get an OPU panel. You also get a spot you can set your dry cleaning as well. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You also get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. I do believe this is a fold flat seat just by the looks of it. So that seat will go flat, and then this guy can sit like an executive with his feet up top here. So very nice feature there. Then you get your dome light back here. They are halogen. Then on this side, you only get an OPU panel. You do not get a spot you can set your dry cleaning. Bluetooth mic pickup there. You get another Bluetooth mic pickup right there as well. And that kind of about does it for what we got here in these second row seats. So, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, and now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. So you can see it actually is relatively quick. Again, unlike the 0 to 60 time suggests, it does, in my opinion, have enough power to get you up and going around town and stuff like that. And again, I don't feel like it really is anemic, because at the low to mid RPM range, it's got more than enough get up. Especially, you know, this vehicle really isn't that heavy, so it doesn't need a ton of power to get it up and moving. So that is why my opinion is that it's got enough get up for around town and stuff like that. But again, once you get it up on the highway, you get it up to around 60-70 miles an hour, I'm sure the power will fall flat on its face, and you kind of have to get on it to pass people and stuff like that. But still, even at that speed, you know, if you're really not all about speed and going fast and all that kind of stuff, I feel like this will have enough power for you. You know, there are a lot of people out there who don't really care about, you know, driving fast and flooring it and, you know, quick accelerations and stuff like that. So for those of you who are like that, I think this thing will have enough power for you. But again, that's just coming from me. If you really want to test it out yourself, then I suggest you take one of these for a test drive. You'll see what I'm saying. Like, test it out around town, test it out on the highway, and I think you'll come to the same conclusion that I have. And take it on some curvy back roads and stuff like that, because I think you'll be surprised just how well this thing goes around turns and how eager it is to want to go into turns and stuff like that, which I'll show you here in a second. But here's another little acceleration. Again, I really think it's got really good get up for around town. Comparing this to my daily driver, I got a 2007 Honda Ridgeline, not the fastest thing by any means on the road, and this thing feels quicker around town than that. That's a V6. Obviously it does weigh quite a bit more, but you know, comparing this to that, this thing's definitely got more get up around town than my car does. But comparing this to, like, you know, something with a V6, twin turbo V6, or a turbo 4-cylinder that makes, you know, 250 horsepower, obviously those are going to be quicker and stuff around town. I do wish that this thing got better fuel economy. This guy's honking at everybody, going slow. But here are some turns, and this is where you'll be like, how does this thing handle so well? And I can't answer that question. I just know, here, just watch. It is so flat around turns. It's so eager to go into the turns. It's very surprising, but at the same time, it's not, because GM, and I always say this in videos that I do with GM products, they do a great job with their suspensions, whether it's just the ride and handling suspension like this one is, like the adaptive Magna Ride suspension, or, you know, the, I meant to say the Air Ride suspension. They do a great job with all of their suspensions because all of their vehicles handle very, very well, but they also cruise comfortably as well. So they really can do it all when it comes to their suspensions, and that's why I think GM has some of the best suspensions, in my opinion, on the market. So, you know, power level wise, I think it's good for around town. If you get on the highway, you do a lot of highway driving. I don't know, because I haven't taken this thing on the highway, so I can't give you, you know, my experience or my feedback of what it's like to drive at high speeds. I also can't give you the feedback, because I haven't driven it on the highway, of what it sounds like at 70 miles an hour at the same time. So, but around town, which is where I think majority of you will probably be doing the driving, maybe 50%, 60% of you will be doing, it does a great job around town, and it's got enough power. And you know, honestly, for a school bus, you're actually supposed to do the yellow lights first and then the red lights. That guy just stopped and did the red lights, so that guy kind of ran through that. But I can't blame that F-150 for doing that, because, you know, this guy didn't do the yellow lights. Anyways, rant over about that. Power level wise, it's great. Honestly, seat comfort, it's pretty comfortable. I would say that it is on the firmer side, but for me, I do feel like it is comfortable. What is going on? I'm ready to go. And this school bus driver, I don't know what's going on. There we go. But yeah, seat comfort, it's on the firmer side of things, but it is still a comfortable seat. It's a comfortable ride. Sound system is pretty good. Again, if you wanted a better sound system, you could look into getting the adaptive cruise and sound package, which would give you the 7-speaker Bose sound system to give you a really good sound system. Bose always does a great job with their sound systems on GM products, in my personal opinion. But, you know, overall, I think this is a great vehicle for what it is, under $30,000. Suspension is great. I think it's got good, adequate power, especially for around town and stuff like that. It cruises nicely. The seat's comfortable. You get these new updated screens. I think it is a very sharp looking vehicle. Again, in my personal opinion, I think they did a great job sharpening up the lines and making it look sportier for the 2024 model year. But yeah, I mean, let me know your thoughts. Do you guys like the way that this thing looks? Have you taken one of these things for a spin yet? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. Again, I put a lot of time into these videos, so I'd really, really appreciate it. If you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section down below and hit that subscribe button. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.